Hello friends, Music Man from his man cave. So let's continue on, shall we? There's this game I play called Ticket to Ride on my tablet. And the game works like this. If you don't have your trains laid down quick enough and the other person, and time runs out, the other person has their trains laid down, guess what? Then you get a big negative, where you can only have like 50 points if you're trying to get one of the 20 pointers. And so those are the issues that Christians have to look at. As I look at it, this whole world is winding down, and time is running out. Why? Because the great catching away is upon us, and we don't know when it is. It's imminent. Let's talk about it. It's interesting. Not even Jesus knows the day or the hour when the church age is going to end. We're in the church age right now, the days of grace, and it's going to end. And it's going to end abruptly. And it's going to end with the great catching away, which a lot of Christians call the rapture. And somehow they get that word from that, but they're going to be caught up. And it's not a new concept. Prophets in the Old Testament that were alive were caught up. I think Elijah was caught up. Paul was caught up. And he actually got to see, what it was that God was showing him and so forth. Jesus was caught up. Jesus rose from the dead, and he got a glorified body. And he now is in a better place in another country that it's hard for us to even comprehend. It's called heaven or paradise. And so now here's the deal. Here's the struggle with Dave Ramsey's teachings. He's telling you that you're going to need millions and millions of dollars to just get by. Well, let's attack this from a logical standpoint, shall we? Okay, when all these Christians vanish, and there's some poorly made movies out there that have been made about this, and it's a shame that they don't have a better budget and they're not done better, because man, they're not. There's some inspirational moments, but they're not, Academy Award winners or anything. Of course, the Academy would hate them since they're a bunch of infidels. But anyway, you got to think about this carefully. There's a balance here. This life is transitory for the Christian. Here today could be gone in 5 seconds, because the Bible says that this is going to happen in the twinkling of an eye. So if that's true, what good is having $1 million stored up going to do for you? Well, we don't know when it's going to happen, so it could be, another, whatever years. Well, remember, Israel became a nation in 1948. So let's think about this. And this is the generation that this is going to happen in. So what is a generation? If a generation is 70 years, that means that we're right in that time. We're at 67 years? Tell me down below if my math is bad. I'm not a mathematician. We're at 67 years? What if it's 100 years? Well, before I retire, it will take place. And all of a sudden, I have $1 million in the bank, and I'm caught without my trains being put down. Okay? See, I think some people misunderstand the parable of the talents. I think Jesus is saying, as I bless you, you need to give. You need to give. And the person that takes their one talent and hides it is the person that's fearful. The person that's not courageous. The person that's not a risk taker. The riskiest thing to do is to give your money to missionaries, to give your money to people in need, and trust God and depend on God to make up the difference. That's true Christianity. Taking care of orphans and widows, taking care of people that need a drink of water, taking care of the people in prison, making sure Bibles are getting out, making sure that the work of the ministry is being done, making sure that the missionaries are being sent. Well, I give my 10%. Well, see, again, I think that's a joke. I think 10% is a joke. I think that was is a scare tactic from pastors to get you to pay the electric bill, and I don't think it's necessary. I think that 10% is too low. It's too low. I think that this is the church age, and as you're looking at the imminent return of Jesus Christ, and then time's up. Game over, man. Stop swimming, get out of the pool. It's done. And I'd say that you need to be very careful to store up your treasures in heaven. That's just Christian Basics 101. What good is $1 million in the bank gonna do once you disappear without a trace? You vanish without a trace, what good is it gonna do? Now let me tell you a study to do. Dr. David Jeremiah's study of Revelation. It's called, I think it's Escape the Coming Night. It's excellent. You should study that. He's so good. He's such a good speaker, and he's so good, and he takes you through it step by step. Really good. I'm telling you, if you're impressed by David Ramsey, this guy will blow your mind. And also do Dr. David Jeremiah's study of Daniel. Do them together. Daniel and Revelation. It will absolutely bring it all. You'll see how, oh my goodness, how on earth could Daniel have been so accurate about what all's happening, now thousands of years ago. It's mind-boggling. And also the other apostles, what's happening today, and with how we're moving toward a one-world order, how we're moving toward America is on the verge of bankruptcy. America is now trillions of dollars in debt because of our worthless government. And so I'd say you need to take all that into consideration, put it all together, and what it says to me is don't put a lot of stock in this world. Should you have food to eat? Yes. Should you live the hand to mouth? No. Should you have provision? Yes. But what does that really look like? Well, let's go to a third part, and let's talk about truly, when you're retiring, what that should look like. And what really happens when you retire versus this fear-mongering that you're going to need $2 or $3 million or whatever in retirement, or you're going to starve to death and you're going to be put out, in the woods with just a kitchen knife to defend yourself. We'll talk about that. Coming at you. Music Man. Put down the trains. Put down your trains. They're worthless when the game's over. Talk to you in a minute. Bye.